chance, and then, Wadri, we ain't done rapping yet. So when I had my experience, I was compelled to say, my alter egos, we ain't done rapping yet. And it took me 8 years. It spells Wadri. So that is a connection that I didn't have for 8 years. So coming on to 9, I not believe in this character like we're best friends, but it's just a hypothetical, like it did happen, but it only adds on to the story. That kind of thing. It's like, wow, we 8 years later and we're able to figure stuff out a bit more just by daydreaming. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. So that's when we developed an alter ego called Wadri. It was like, makes sense. We ain't done rapping yet, Wadri. And then after I said those words, I was like, life is here, but I was changed. Like I was on a journey. You turn on your computer, and we ain't done rapping yet is the brand, is the boot code, and then you load your code underneath we ain't done underneath Wadri. So after I thought about it like that, it became fun. It became like, well, what else can I learn? So I respect the whole thing over a silly, we ain't done rapping yet sound. R website, that's like a website for total sickos. They got an area there, but you gotta find it. It's not hard to see. Or heavy D, heavy R, put those in. I haven't looked at it for a while, and some of those are like snuff videos, basically. Some of them are fake, some of them are real, some of them are made to look like the real. Some of them you just can't tell, really. And then you got comments underneath like, yo, that's definitely faked. And this is the same site where I told you guys, like, where you like see people getting raped and then shot. And then you left there wondering, like, what the hell did I just watch? And then you see some crazy stuff, people's heads explode, like stuff you don't see on ever. This is the first time I'm filling my brain up with this stuff. And I don't know if I was trying to punish myself, but either way, whether it was good or bad, I recognized change and I forced myself to watch all of that. I'm glad I did. I don't need to see it every day. Once is enough to realize that there are more realities. I like to say reality lies in perception. If I could give you guys any quote before I left, for the best lines I ever came up with. Reality lies in perception. There's a double meaning to it. It's like, are you being honest, or where are you laying down? So there's two ways to look at it, and they're both, I guess, genuine thoughts. And then once you be able, your brain thinks like this, what are you gonna do with yourself when you got self-discipline, follow the rules to a T now, look what you've done to yourself. When you got knowledge that I needed at the time, and it made me mad at life when I found out what I knew could be skewed. Some of it was true, some of it was perception, a way to look at it. Whose side are you on, the doctors or the patients? Because there's two ways of looking at things. And at first I didn't understand that, and that's how the world works. The more you can recognize what situation you're in, just by watching these random crazy videos on autoplay. My life has been a work of random, that's for sure. I think I've benefited from random, in my own random. Like I couldn't go to a casino and be like, yeah, random, work for my favor. No, that wouldn't work at all. I would lose all my money in a heartbeat. And it was great, it was fun, I had a great fun, but I made random work for me when I believed random doesn't work for me. So in two different situations, you had different answers. Does random work for you, yes or no? Excuse me, sir, answer the question, you're under oath. What am I gonna say? I was supposed to get tonight, even on our title, we failed. We were supposed to smoke so much, I was gonna bring out this laughter. My wife haven't heard in minimum 5 months, maybe once then. She was like, yeah, let's do this. God, we failed, so we did it. Yeah, finally took us 2 days to get this, laugh, because I just laugh at random things. Maybe I guess, I talk more about serious shit. I don't know, life is more serious now. Then it becomes a way of life, it's no longer just kicking back, making websites, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't in code. It's no longer that laugh, it's like you had a child, which is yourself, and it takes all damn day, man, to work with my back injuries, and I just had to learn to live life different. I still enjoy it. I love going around. And it's a hard thing for my wife, because she sees me in pain all the time, so she gets depressed thinking that it's like, oh, is this my life? This is what it is going to be, especially when they can't take out the hardware. I'm just like, yeah, you got some serious questions, and what do you say, man? What do you say to that? It's like, damn, doctor, you better be able to take this out, because I don't need any more tears, sir. I don't need any more tears, sir. That's the only thing keeping me, I guess in other people's eyes, down, because they're like, how's he supposed to have a child? I'm on medication, it's not that bad, even though it is. I understand what I go through every time, it gets worse the longer I'm in it, but I'm okay. I ain't gonna be holding the baby for 15 hours a day, am I? Like, I can prop it up on a pillow between my arms. Like, this ain't that hard, man. I can chase them. I get up to go get another soda. Why can't I get up to go change their diaper? I mean, same life, man. I don't get people sometimes. Sometimes people don't get me. Oh, well, what you can do about it, man? I ain't got time to think about it, right? We got albums. We got a lot of things to do. And the world is just the world that I want to put in my brain. And everything I've been a part of. And when you got the number one thing on your brain is, damn, that hurts. Yeah, 9 years of that. And I tried everything else, and I honestly believe. I looked at the x-rays. I'm not a doctor, but, I'm just trying to put two to two together, so you gotta believe me. The doctor probably doesn't want to do it, because he'd rather feed me more pain pills and he go home to his beautiful ass life and ain't gotta worry about me till I call his office and bug him about how shitty my life is. And then I feel bad because I gotta bug him again. I mean, it's the lifestyle you live. You get written off as a success person, like on the 27th day, probably that same day. Probably was that same day. I was feeling so good, like, yes, I'm a success patient. And later that night I freestyled and I bent my shit up. So that was like a double defeat. And I think that's why I didn't really go back, because they wouldn't want to believe me. It'd be one more cool point away from their resume. If I was already written off as a success patient in their journal, magazine, whatever they're writing about, I interview, like, oh, is it a great doctor? Is it this? He's a great doctor, and he's going to be the same doctor I go talk to. But at the same time, that night, I had an accident. You can call it what it is, freestyle, jerking my meat, and I fell off the couch. Did it that way. Slipped on a cat toy from marbles and all this other stuff from being creative. It could have been anything, right? But the shit broke probably that same day, because I would do something like that. Yeah, damn. I'd have no other reason to freestyle, man. I was like, man, on this second surgery, I ain't gonna fail. But it wasn't the meloxicam that got to me. I thought I was free. 30, 60 days in. I'm not sure the exact dates, but it wasn't long after. They're like, yep, just keep on doing what you're doing. Cool, I'm a rapper. I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm doing. And, ain't gonna take it as easy, because when you rap, when you're really trying to use your body, you get violent, and then you step it up a notch, move the limiters, and turn your speakers up too loud, run your engine too loud, and see what happens. Plug your 110 appliance into a 220 volt without a special adapter and see what happens. But yeah, I'm content with my life. I'm content within the studio here, I'm content with the stuff I talk about, even though it doesn't appeal to everyone, although I'm not trying to write to everyone. It's probably the hardest job ever to have. So you'll write a book, making sure everyone loves it. Like, you can't pick out a little tiny spot and be like, yeah, this is what I love about pizza, and why I dislike anchovies. Now you gotta be forced to enjoy the situation you're in and believe it no matter what. You know, whether you do or not, you know, eventually you're like, damn, so this is what it is. You know, so then you give it all you got, probably like the same way I gave my freestyle. You're like, shit, you know, if I'm here, I'm gonna give it my all. And there you go, you know, that's why we're so strange, because we gave it all in just different directions. You know, I think, I don't know, there's not real people in here though, but we got, on cam. I guess, yeah, we do. This is the highest room numbers on cam I've ever seen. And I will not take the credit for that. Or maybe so. Maybe so. Probably the most cams I've ever seen on in this room. 3, you know, at the most. 3. Right now we got 10. I'm gonna try to exit this. This has been good no matter what. I mean, thanks for coming to the party. We made it to our 4 hours. I can go rest in bed. So I don't hurt myself anymore. And I want to make my wife happy. Like, I don't want to make her feel like, damn, this is my life is now. Like, no, that's not what it is. So it's like, what do you do? You know, well, I'm learning to like, treat it as a sliver. Yeah, the sliver, it's in there, and it feels like it's broken and all. And I've been 9 years in this pain, so I just gotta imagine it as a sliver. If that's what I really believe in. Then I may hurt at the end of the day, but you did too 6 years ago. And look, you're still here. Got one of those talks I give myself. So I'm always like, it comes first, and like all this comes second. Because I think the first year is probably the hardest on us. Because this was first, like I had like real hours, and on Tuesdays, you know, after I've been doing this for 3 days, and the third day, she didn't know, but I saw like a routine. And like she started to fall apart and get depressed, and we're like, yo, is the storm over yet? And yo, just waiting my turn, and it's probably be 10 years later, probably next year. I don't know. Sometimes I remember last time he found something on it, and he may listen to me, and he's got high egos. And at this moment, I don't mind him having a real high ego, because if he's confident about himself, which, you know, that makes him a dick in others' opinions, because he's so highly confident in what he does. And here we are, you know, 10 years later, and he's still working there at the spine center. Like, damn, yo, he's got to be a genius. And if he put this hardware in there, they've got some cool ass machines there. He had me in surgery like next month. I mean, overall, his services were great. I don't blame the doctor at all. And I think that's the only reason he still works with me, because he sees that I accept that it's my fault and that he's got no blame in it at all. And he realizes that, and that's the reason why he will do it. And other doctors won't. That's the piece that's missing. Well, I could talk forever, but we really need to go. And I wouldn't mind bringing the rest of the bowl, but I don't need to be too high. I really don't need to do any of that anymore. And the only time I smoke that is when I'm in here, because the cat pees on the floor every time we smoke hookah, or even, you know, this. So that's why we had to put down the wood floors. And, you know, years later, and I finally realized that behavior. I mean, he hasn't been in a dirty environment, because we don't smoke in this house at all, ever. Just when I was in a real bad situation and I didn't have my open vapes, these things are a lifesaver, man. It's the new way to smoke weed. I smoke this. I'm just blowing out like invisible fumes. The reason I smoke that with a greenhouse filter, so it's like you can filter the smell, so the neighborhood doesn't know you got weed growing inside. You got enough of those carbon filters for regular heating and home ducts, and it looks like a smokestack for a tractor, but only it sucks in. You could have a room dedicated, so I mean, it really doesn't smell out there. Versus like if that thing's broken and it doesn't work, it's like you can tell a big difference. But even now, if I walk outside for 15 minutes and I walk back in here, I can still smell it. So I see I'm failing. We'll get it. Ooh, I can tell already. But we had a good day, good night. I'm gonna stop this here, and I'm gonna end this night. I might go back live later, but with videos, and try to work on something for an intro and outro on these videos. I will upload like songs. Oh, we're gonna play those. Yes, you can play those right now. We will end out on that note. That's perfect. It's hard to really tell what I'm doing, because I'm surprised that my lips are being synced to everything, because my live broadcast here and the way I use it, after a while there's a lag, and I will figure it out. Tonight we're using 48 kilohertz all the way through, because I think, well, maybe it's the 48 kilohertz doing it. So I changed everything back to 48 kilohertz on the multi-viewer 4. There's no option but to accept. I think it's this box. This box, you got no option but to accept 4800 kilohertz unless you want to re-encode it, which is an awful idea. So, well, maybe that's causing my problems here. I know other people, I don't know if you notice it or not, but it's like, wait, it's true. I can't be, even though I'm feeling like this, it will eventually be taken out, so I can live like it's not there.
Jay, Justin, wanna mess with him, man? I was watching how shockwaves. What is a shockwave? A shockwave can be caused by chemical related or gas basically related.
How pathetic you are. That's facts. You know, not just me, your opinions. If I got my neighbor to come down here and look at you as long as I did, I think they could come up with the same assumption that you need professional help. Like, you got a lot of problems in life, bro. How did you become like this? Was it your mommy or dad that inspired you to eat so many chickens? So how the hell can you become 500 pounds if it wasn't from your mom?
I'll hold yours, cause I'm giving my all for you to feel free from struggle and life. So will you tag team on this? Oh, I'll dream with me. You're all I see. Oh, I fall asleep. You're all I know. I studied you too long. I wanna give you this crown out right now. Lay you down and stroke your head slide.
Get a number, here's our theme, you better follow. Cause if you don't, yo, homie, it's the only time I can live free. I'm in the whole show. In this movie, thank you for attending. Party in this house. Party in this house. Party in this house. Party in this house. Buying tires for the brand new cars I got in the garages. That's right, I said plural. Look them up most, but the coast head grill. Picking the nose. We got posters in the studio. I be smoking songs. Talking of your lungs. Songs. Talking of your lungs. 2 rips out of 2 lungs. Get it, boy? He's in the studio getting it on. Smoke, smoke, smoke more. Is the tone in the studio. What? Cause we smoke more in the studio. Yeah, yeah. We smoke more in the studio. Homie, it's the only time I can live free. I mean, the only time when I can be a G. Cause outside of here, I live a real life, you see. I'm not like how I hang on here. Out there, I got a family to support, so in here, it's like no pause. So going the extra mile, hope you don't judge. Yeah, wires, buying tires for the brand new cars I got in the garages. That's where I said plural. Look them up most of the clothes take real. Hitting in the notes. I got posters in the studio. I be smoking more. Hot though. Top shelf. We always got it going on. Pastor on. Listen to the lead dial. Poking nose. Cause yeah, no, it's just house. Out nose. Close. And pop. Smoke more. Yeah, you gotta smoke more in the studio. Yeah, studio. Yeah, be smoking in the studio. Smoking in the studio. Wow. Smoking more. Smoking. We be smoking more. Smoking. We be smoking more. Smoking. Alright, homie, close the door. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 puffs. Or I give you no 2 Fs. Walking here like a boss. Joe, where's the bong at you got? Sativa. Pop it up 1 more notch and let volts. Wait for the boss. Damn, yo. Look how we're doing. Ooh, holy crap. Ooh, yo, we be making sex music, man. Holy crap. Need a different camera angle. Oh, man. I probably don't get it. Yo, man, look at that shit. That's awesome. Damn. Leave her alone. Life is good with some minutes. So lonely. Why don't you come into this life and brighten it up? I need you just as much you need me. You're my everything, you're my everything. You're my everything, you're my everything. You're my everything, you're my everything. You are it. The last lonely. Without you, I wouldn't have anything. I want to be anywhere with you. Anywhere. I want to be anywhere with you, girl. It's fine, but me now. So we're going to head up out of this mental mind and just change. It's how we blow out the smoke when I know everything's happy. I'm happy. You're when I smoke. That's why we smoke more. To smoke more. That's why we smoke more. Smoke more. Do you mind if I smoke more? Smoke more with me. Smoke more with me, baby. Please smoke more with me, baby, please. We'll have a good time. We can release the stresses. I got a fresh brand new blunt. It has your name popping out. You're all I've been thinking all day. Not anyone else smoke that ass, Jay. I wanna smoke this, Jay. But with you, you are who I choose. To smoke more. Baby, all I need is you. Damn, yo, that's knowledge. Need my mustache back, man. It look too funny. I think I look too funny without it. But I shave it back, because it gets too long. And usually it's crooked. I give you something to look at. Damn, you having a good time tonight. You having a good time tonight. That's good. Party it up, drop it like it's hot. Twerk. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Know how it is. Get it on the pole. Get it on the pole. Macro. Push the button. Work for that money. Work for it. Like you're the biz. Pick me out of here, out of space. Five lies. No final price. Ow, wow. Get it down. Up and down this pole. I'll give you a nerd, girl, I swear. Please, I wanna see you work it like no other girl. I wanna see you up and down like a vacuum cleaner. Can you suck me in your world? Can you? What work it? Can you? All these $100 bills. Work it, yeah. Work it. You my vacuum cleaner. Suck me in, girl. Yeah, suck me in, girl. You my butt vacuum. Your destiny. I got plenty of money. Just let me see you work it on the pole. Twerk it. On the pole. Twerk it. Damn, yo. A nerd, yo. I look crazy in that picture, man. Like, my image does not match up with this skill. Yeah, get it while it's hot. You are what's hot. You're all I think about. On work, enough work is you. Riding down this road with you. You're all I think about. Party here, going places. You're all I think about. I don't care if anyone knows, I'll shout. Cause this is my girl. Yeah, she's my partner. Going straight to this top. Yeah. Straight to the top, if you ain't know about now. Why don't you come down here on planet Earth so we can celebrate? You hold the reins in this deal. I mean, we didn't try anything. Mr. Puff Push, you ain't gotta bring work home. I mean, we all human, and besides, I don't think the one above would be proud when you all behave yours. Come on, we don't live in a dictatorship. The only person you're certain is yourself. So kneel down and start to forgive, put down your ego. Probably one of your biggest temptations that you just live in and let go. That's why we haven't made a closer connection, because I'm yo. Now let's get the bill. You are, I mean, I told so many lies, and if I let you in, then I have to forgive all the lies I told about you, because I'm so jealous. Maybe, I don't know, whatever it is you got yourself in. I mean, no, maybe it's too late for us because of your sins, but whatever it is, we forgive you, and you ain't got no hate to show her, so I don't know, why don't you forgive? Something, why don't you tell us how she sinned, and just walk her out of her life just because? I mean, what is this, a dictatorship or a family called love? I don't know, but it is but a sense of control. I don't know, what did we do? Did we get nailed on the cross? I don't know, what did we do? What did we do? Man, I'm still scratching my head, trying to figure it out, yo. Why don't you put us on blast so we all know? Tired of going to sleep having nightmares just because this medication makes another day easy. I mean, it's okay, I keep my drugs away from everyone. I don't share, know what? I mean, who you see in the mirror is not who I am. I am an actor, pulling out another movie every other day. Yo, I'm really sorry if we're prejudices, I'm getting in the way, but we going and moving on with the new story, and I guess it just shows you give regard to everyone who try to follow you, and you call yourself a leader. Yes, you do. You think you're high, yo, but we got albums to prove, but we don't even need to be no one. Maybe it's my dollar bills or the accounts. What is it? Prejudice keeping us apart, huh? But you're supposed to spread love, man. All we feel is hate with this constant wall. Just one way. Maybe you told lies, and you know you can't forgive yourself. I don't know. Maybe that's it, because we didn't do SHIT. Go get out of here. We will go create. I'm sorry. I'm so different from your kind anymore. You know, at least I'm trying to make it work out, but you be the hard one. What is it? I mean, do I need to forgive my sins, put myself on last, just to give yourself the last laugh? I don't get it. Is it your ego making this causes wall up above, or yo, I don't get it. You're the one who's supposed to show love, but yo, I don't get it. Are you the one in control? Yeah, I think you're the one in control, and it ain't. I'm just waiting for the bus, so you can finally come out of the closet and get real with the situation, so you can just prove with all my videos that I made how crazy I am in the studio. Video after video, Hollywood, yo, I told you after, but you just can't get over. Woo. Can't get over my job, how good I am, fooling all of you. Amazing, you can say it. Amazing, I'm amazing, I'm amazing, you can say it. It's okay, I will let you, give you permission to say, I'm amazing, I'm straight up amazing. I forgive you in how you were, your behaviors, but still out of this world, no one cares. No one cares. On who we think we are, is it some game in your head? We only getting older, waiting for the boss, come closer. If I come out of the closet, is it, yo, what's that, is it? I don't know. One more flow, one more dose. I don't like him now, he's on drugs, smoking that. You see his videos? Damn, he looks good. I don't know the guy, but he does really bad. He'll give him pop, give him pop, I can't change. Look at me a different way, for what can day. That's why I live misery. Maybe it's not him, maybe it wasn't him at all. This move, I made him move live. This move, how we prove. I forgive, but I don't remember just to quit. No need here anymore. Did my job, man. I did my job. Yeah.
Buying it all with bags of cash, flashy pets, latest model Corvette, gold chase, diamond, round hawk, net, world to worst, feds are why we here. Yeah, talk all those dishes, and pumpkin machines, relief from the pain of poverty. Now we just glow, baby we overflow. Follow me, having the time of my life. Everyone knows us as money freaks, and this feels of money freaks. Driving in style, oh it sounds so good. Sending money on my girl, never one forever. Kiss me shorty, pull me in love, sex in your hot tub, music banging in the club, so drunk dancing with love. Glad you're by, hold me side, make love with the best bread, endless cash rating from Dollar Trees. You never cover all seas. You are so beautiful to me. Brown eyes, sparkle, perfect smile, fresh red roses. You smell wonderful. The way you move got me twisted, laughing over a delicious meal. Sharing selfies with the one I love. The woman of my dreams got sexy lips. Banging body, rocking you to sleep. Homie,
Sonic port with got no power, and the iPad has the headphone jack, but it's mono input. So I'm trying to think of other solutions, and I believe I found one. Yeah, I found ways to get around it so we can make music all day long instead of the few hours we got on our battery, because this thing has to be charged for us to really do any of that. In the setup, you have to buy dongles and USB hubs and other stuff like sound card with no drivers, and you basically replace the system we have here with that one. And so like I had to buy like an extension, otherwise it'd be like hanging right here. So I didn't want it hanging, so you had to buy like a 3-foot extension, one that would fit in here too. So you had to be careful, because I'm gonna keep on smoking. And no time can I be sit here only playing video games and not smoking.
I'm focused on this project about you and me, celebrating outer struggle and celebrating on an island. Celebrating girl cruises, we got no more money problems. Says smoke ball, it's on the house, so a smoke ball. You wanna smoke with me? Yeah, smoke ball. You wanna smoke with me? I know you do, you had a long day. Come over and just chill, we got AC, chilling in our barbecue, dipping in a cool poo well. Not at the tap, why don't you smoke the joint in a hot tub with the king of the crowd? You invited to the party, don't come early and get SHP. Come on, get down, party going crazy. Everyone in town knows what we do. On weekends we give it our all. Not holding back, cause I'm smoking more with these homies and babies. Man, smoke more. Homie, what smoke more? Smoking for the 14. Smoking for the homies. I couldn't make it to the party. Smoke one more for the homies that couldn't make it to the party. Smoke more to the homies that couldn't make it to the party.
Yeah, I be smoking, you it up, making a lot of money. Got a few honeys around me constantly, cause we make more money. I got a cigo hanging out of my mouth though. Waiting for the damn bro. We got making the money stack, step ass, go clap, clap, clap. Yeah, I smoke more. All I do is smoke more. Smoke more. Yeah, smoke more with me. Yeah, baby. Yeah, you smoke more with me. I know you all been had a stressful day. We got AC, come and chill, and smoke more at a party. At this party, welcome. You are invited to this party.
Paint it green. Paint it with me. Let's paint this room green. I want to paint a color, but I think green would work for green.
We gotta put on my goggles here so I can distinguish one person from the other. So when I talk shit, if you're looking at the goggles, not eyeballs, right? That's how we do it. So what you're looking at here is 4 hours or so, 3.5. This material is a 2-player vocal mix. Lame, but there are some hot moments in here. So we are going to normalize it and catch those hot moments for future reference. This is what happens when you mix acapella with automatic remix. We record these at 4,800 kilohertz, but I down mix immediately to 44.1. I never hear the 48 kilohertz version, although that is a much nicer version. I immediately downsample it to 44.1 because it makes sense. Perfect. Look at that mix. Look at that. So now we resave it, except this is still 24-bit.
Yeah. Let me just pause this because the buffer must be full. I got 2 gigabytes. These are a bunch of little files, so when you start doing stuff like this, so like I love messing with short little files because it's easy to edit. Now your system has to be set up for that, and mine's not really set up for speed. It's set up for protection, and there's a lot of this, and it's not really slow. Right now we're bottlenecked it. Somewhere down the line with all of these files, it saves it to 2 gigabyte cache or whatever. Then it does its thing. That's why it's so fast. But once that fills up, then it's slow as shit. That's what we're dealing with at the moment. It's slow as shit. That's why I like using this one here. Some don't really have that problem. Media Monkey is my preferred place. I got 2 players as my work players. J River Media Center. This one's nice because it's the read buffer. This one don't have problems. This one, when you move files, you have to confirm it. This one don't have any lag issues. This one's got special features on it as well. It allows you to speed up the track, slow it down. It's real fun. Sometimes I put the acapellas on the J River Media Center, and I play beats on Media Monkey, and on this one you can speed it up. You can speed it up, and it tweaks your vocal cords. Nowadays, I don't think I need that. My skills have gotten better from mastering it. So we were on a season somewhere. Or maybe I don't have it turned on. That sucks. Play something else. We'll play some other music while we wait for that one. Usually I do these in 30 seconds, so I don't have this problem. 30 seconds, you can really precise yourself out. And this one over here, the J River Media Center, it's hard to do that. You never know what you're quite supposed to do. Oh, there we go. I'll be back in a bit. Turn off your bass. Maybe about a half hour, so we're going to play. They don't play nothing bad. I know there's like 1 or 2 of our fights in there yet, so. Even though there have been conversations that aluminum may cause, and they even though we have found no discrepancies on some Alzheimer's website, many still believe that it's a diagnosis. Before I even read the article, if you got 0 links to it, like it's something to do, that's the way to think. But we live in times where you can do it. You know? All you gotta do is make you believe. I make myself believe hope. It's not bad. It's not as hard as you think. It's sort of like you're waking up every day. You gotta take pills. You gotta take them out on time, and then you can make it through the day. But you gotta stay focused. Like I burn up all my weed, and I need to stay on it. I come up here and give the best show of my life. Then I'm like listening to this, and I'm like, damn, we got so much stuff here, and my bed sounds comfy. Today was supposed to be bed day anyway, but holy crap, we already did an outstanding day. We put in a lot of video game content. You're feeling good. It makes up for all of everything that's gone wrong in your past week. So I'm in pain every day, so I don't want to remember. People are like, nah, it's the drugs, why you can't remember. So sometimes I'm like, I catch myself before I'm like, oh, I don't remember you telling me that, because that's like, they're gonna link their brain to be like, oh, it's the drugs, and that's never smart when you receive ESP response to their brain and it's misinformation. No, it's, I don't want to remember what I've gone through yesterday or the day before. I want to remember how I had to occupy my brain so I could just make it one more day in this beautiful world. It's not what you think it is, but I will not change how you think of me. All I can do is I got in this respect from, or where I give, or whatever. But it's self-discipline. It's like we got rules we need to follow, and there's process. So like every step of the way, we just got done doing this. And last time I did this was like 4 or 5 months ago. We go through these phases at work. So right now we're catching up on this, and now we've gotten handy at creating and shelving it until I get there. We get there sooner than before. I mean, now we don't have to encode it. The audio files are what take the longest. Who knows? I mean, I got a GTA, a Asus GTX 1070 Ti. So we'll see how video editing goes on that the first time. And I'll be editing like what we say in 47 plus 15 hours or something. So we got 60 hours that we need to pull through the editor, cycle through, and basically do the same thing. We added one of these machines, and you're probably hearing that. Well, let me play some music so it's not. Yeah. So we got a new addition for our studio. So we gotta make sure that we play stuff. If you can see it automatically silences, and it can do some weird stuff if you don't follow the process. What we got going on here is many hours, 46 from Persian. That was nice because it's got some weird ass sounds. But that's your EF, it's up there. So here's my audience. I mean, 30 seconds. I ain't no 1 pump chump. I'm a 30. You got a problem with that? Then 2 pump chump across the street. He also does what I do. I can do it 30. Dudes across the way be bragging that they can do a full 4.36. So I can do a full 4.36. Together, the experts say you're missing out on valuable time. You probably are, but you could still make up that time. Chilling on the couch, or one of you every day goes to the other side and just chills. Knows how to have a conversation. That's okay. But I don't think you got to be sleeping in the same room. So I really don't. Like if you force that upon me, they see us fall apart. Because 30 seconds. I ain't no 1 pump chump. I'm a 30. You got a problem with that? Longer seat. If you have space and you don't care about her or his imperfections. In fact, you love him now. It ain't all about what it used to be, because why? You both couldn't breathe, and when none of you are hyperventilating,
It gives you a level head to think and have conversations rather than, man, I'm tired, but can I go to bed? Can I go to the bathroom? You're living a lifestyle of like, yo, I'm hungry. Can I go eat here? You ain't living a life because you're sharing. That's what I would put in a advice book for relationships and marriage. Sleeping in the same bed is too damn close, man. Just like as a kid, you need your own room. Sleeping in a trailer, bunk beds with your 2 other brothers. Picture that. Sounds amazing and a great time, doesn't it? Oh wait, mom's pregnant again, and we got 2 to a bed. You're sleeping on a 2x6. It's your hopefully one of the different dads nailed there on the side of the wall, so one of you could sleep there on a 2x6. How much space you got, man? That's your 2x6. I'm sure you live in a happy life when all you got is a 2x6 worth of space. Homie, you could go down and rent a 10x10 shed and just feel proud, and that'll probably make you happy that you store all your stuff in, because like, damn, this is my space. That's only you can call your space. That's it, and you can't even live there or sleep there. So what are you? You're in a cage. Yeah, it's ain't right to sleep in other rooms. Of course it is. It's the most logical thing anyone would want to do. Do you like to smother? I like pussy and hits and bouncing across my face, and I like fucking, and I like going on dates. I like watching TV, and I like this and that. But Daddy also needs his workshop. Yes. 30 seconds. I ain't a 1-pump chump. I'm a 30. You got a problem with that? Then 2-pump chump across the street. He also does what I do. I can do a 30. Dudes across the way be bragging that they can do a little 4.36. So I can do it for 4.36 hour times 2. I need a race, man. Oh man. Oh man. It's attitude until I'm ready to stop having a good time. Usually I'm not a knuckle popper, but body's starting to ache. It's usually a withdrawal, runny nose. When you start to feel pain, symptom. I feel muscle relax. Pain I feel is real. Coming from a sliver line, walking around, you gotta be. It really works on top of the lot. It's like not good stuff, but I guess it worked well for me. I always got not a lot of it right on time. Oh man, with this life you gotta be on time. Otherwise you feel aches and pain. Maybe that's why I got a bad back. But I don't know. I got a bad back because I carried up a television set. Something like that. Shortly after. Shit went down. Like your muscle racking or like pressing so much that its vertebrae cushion might actually burst. That was the start of the whole thing, but years later that got fixed up. The hardware is bent some sort, and it feels like a sliver in the L4, L5 area that feels like worst pain. Feels like, reminds me of something broke back there. And when you get to that point in life, you need narcotics to control the situation. I'm a healthy, responsible user of narcotics. I don't know what you're talking about with this epidemic opiate war. Y'all weak. That's what it explains to me. There's a few strong ones out there, but most of you out there are bitches and weak, lack of self-discipline. And then, the strong ones and the amazing people like myself have to take a detour because you're dumbass. You're the reason why I'm so great. Thank you for all of my successes that you've guided along the way. The achievements surely are like in the top 100 of most prolific musicians. Can't lie. What the hell are you? In what top 100 list did you able to get your awesome self in? I might hear you in the background. You're always telling yourself, I ain't shit. Always telling yourself how small your dick is, and then Jesus really grants your wish because that's all you talk about. All you talk about is what you get. And once you pull out all your friends' average income and see what yours is, on a social group, you be hanging out at the local bowling alley. You ain't cheap. You just try to escape paying the price of what it means to live. Messages inspire you to become a leader like myself. I will teach you from the messages, each passage. Right. Notice that's how we wind down. Like if you just turn it off as an actor, like there's mental illness that comes with multi-personality disorder that Hollywood has. That this room requires you to create something that wasn't there before and make it something that people would want to. The journey is in your hands. I want to eat a bag of potato chips. Hell yeah, I do. I want to walk outside naked and show the whole world my idea. No, I don't. And yes, I do, because I'm a man and can say no. That would be a conflict of interest. Because there's always 2 people there, right? You got your crazy self. You got yourself be like, yo, take 1 more pill. Come on, shove it in your face, you loser. And then you got this other side to be like, come on, 1 more step. You can do it. And hopefully we can find a water station and, a soda machine so we can hydrate ourselves. And once you have those, self-talks with your good friends and neighbors, once you got the correct support system that you personally have set yourself up with. Once you're talking around with 5 of your best friends that know you up and down, and you got a table for 6, it's good times. Alright, so stay positive. There's always 2 people there, right? You got your crazy self, you got yourself, be like, yo, take 1 more pill. Come on, shove it in your face, you loser. And then you got this other side to be like, come on, 1 more step. You can do it, and hopefully we can find a water station and, a soda machine so we can hydrate ourselves. And once you have those, self-talks with your good friends and neighbors, once you got the correct support system that you personally have set yourself up with, once you're talking around with 5 of your best friends that know you up and down, and you got a table for 6, it's good times. Alright, so stay positive. Peace out.
Welcome, ladies. How are you? I can't even see double. I'm seeing like triple and shit. This is probably the drunkest I've been. Shout out to my bum ass hot wife. Shout out to my future self that will be watching this and be like, oh shit. This is a shout out to my wife because she's banging more than any of us. You gotta give it down. I asked for it though. She didn't pressure me. I wanted this. And it's not her fault for how drunk. This is probably the drunkest I've been that any of you have seen. And like I'm lightweight, I'm on narcotics, so I don't drink. I'm a good motherfucker. I am on top of the line. I celebrate what needs to be celebrated, and my wife is top of the line, homie. I love her straight up. And this is probably the wackest recordings I've ever done, and I wish I could fake it. But this shit is real, man. Like, I can't even see the screen, homie. The screen is so far away, and it's like, no, I'm drunk. This is probably the drunkest I've ever been off of a 40 and a beer. I know how to comprehend myself, but do you? Welcome, man. We just got done releasing LCJ 22. I've been releasing so much, you know that my dick's just growing bigger. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is seriously the drunkest I've ever been, because I never drink. And, this is being recorded for me to watch, and I am sure that this will be deleted, because we don't give you guys none of this hot shit. Unless it's hot, Shout out to my wife, she's hot as shit. She's got some titties that was sucking on for about 45 minutes. That little shit's hurt. This is the first time she see me like this. Shout out to you. You guys have never, ever seen me this trash in my life. And this is how I am, bro. This is who I am. And you better buy my CD, because I put in, seriously, a lot of hours. I've been in a lot of pain. I be taking my pain drugs it works better when they take them on schedule, because then I don't have to suffer. And yes, I suffer. Right now I'm not suffering. Thank you, goodness, to my wifey. She's the best wifey on the planet. You hear me, sir? I want to disrespect you because I'm a good guy. I'm just really drunk, and I wasn't expecting to be this drunk today, but I'm okay with it if you are. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I've done 20 shout out to you. You guys have never paid attention to you if you were in my eyes, but you gotta believe. Yeah, man. We're making music for our next album. Shout out to the studio. Oh, hour 41. We should go back making beats. So that's everything gold. So every day I've been sad. I'm gonna live forever in YouTube. You know what? I'm worth it, because I will live here longer, 70 years. So I think that's how you really define things into perspective. On how, at the same time, it's just not a good mix. But you want to look pretty, and it only goes so far because money ran out from these expensive ass drill bits. So before they were losing, but starting to hurt. So, I should have done taking my pills an hour ago, actually 2 hours ago. I gotta sit and pay for 5 minutes. Learn to ignore it, but it's a 10. I can't emphasize in your arm. Let's just pretend that you got a big ass giant, and you're just gonna leave it in there because you're badass. Nah, leave it in there, yo. Bigger than Mr. T and shit. So you just want to simulate what it's like to live 24 hours in my life. There you go. Shove a big ass timber, and it's basically, it reminds you of something's wrong, and the worst. This shit, you use words like, oh man, this is bad. Like, this is the worst. But if you're a newbie, and you'll be like, damn, I need to call my doctor. Like, we don't call doctors, man. Just like you ain't call cops. I ain't call no cops or doctors. That's just the truth, man. Nah, man, it'll go away in a week. Just give me an ice pack. But since you're a newbie, you probably cry like a little bitch. Especially if you had to live with, the worst pain you've ever felt in your life. And I don't know if you know how to comprehend that on an intimate level with yourself. Because when you're there, you're having conversations with yourself. You're not typing on the phone. You're not watching TV. There's nothing that looks good. Even your dreams of being a president, that starts to be like, and presidency or bed. You're a winner inside. We all know it. It's too bad, but the devil got to him and ate up his soul. Now he's just an old cripple in a bed. How long can... I lasted 7 years, man. I'll be honest. I lasted 7 years of level 10 torture. Be like, yeah, I'm human. I can do it. And then, after the 7.5 year, I realized, doctor, can I have some antidepressants? Because you get to a point of that you become naturally depressed based off of... We're talking like no medicine. If you got medicine, you can manage walking on fire. You can, but it's always there. It's always there. But, if just like a broken arm or something, probably the worst. A baby, delivering a baby. I'm delivering a baby every single day of my life. We hear it all the time from these fine ass ladies. You don't want to take a baby because that shit's, you don't want to give birth to a baby. That's horrible. They went, because that's horrible. They went all the way. These parents, mothers, loving mothers who want to torture people. They made up pregnancy devices or made up some contraption that simulates on a man that want to torture people. What it's like giving birth. You should see it. That's right. Look at their face and look at mine. And now you wonder, how long am I going to sit there screaming like that while I'm giving birth? I mean, giving birth is part of my day. Speaking on that level, if we're at that level, you can comprehend what I'm saying. We walk on top of blades and coals. Yeah, it bothers me. I understand I'm getting cut up. I understand, I might need to sit down after this, and I understand that tomorrow might even be hard for me because it's just the way of life. You get used to it. It's even horrible to be saying. You get used to it because, after the 8th year, after, it's ate up all of your, we can do it reserves. You believe. I seriously believe I could do it all the way. I can fight this pain. It's no big deal. Trust me. After a while, you just rather not feel the pain. It's there. So my life has developed for all the psychologists out there who want to learn something. I'm explaining something right here. My brain has turned into this. I learn. I'm a huge learner. I suck in YouTube because that's one of my favorite things to do now. Since moving reminds me of pain. And I can come in here and do my shit, but I realize that after I'm done here, I'm gonna hurt real bad. And there's a possibility that tomorrow I might even be out of order. That's how serious it is when I come in here and just sit on my ass for a few hours and play with myself on this electronic device. Girlfriend, playing with it, in my workshop, excuse me. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to explain people. I guess what it's like getting old. I'm not sure if everyone identifies with this or if it's just a version of reality. But I take it, I think I stopped whining about it years ago. It is what it is now because you thought you were in recovery and you thought this shit was all going to end. And then you realize it doesn't end, that kind of scenario. What does that do to you? Just pause time and figure that one out. How it breaks you, how much it robs you, and how much time it takes. And it's constantly knocking on your door. You can't forget. You got to be on time with these lame-ass narcotics just to get by. And, me personally, I'm not trying to be sarcastic here, but me personally, I think this opiate war is blown way out of proportion. It's like a reality TV show.
high drama they need to be instead of letting them kill themselves. And I kind of think that's where it leads to. And if we can cut back on the people who don't give a shit about, I think that's what these documentaries are talking about. Not like me, because I got a few friends. You mention opiates and the brain turns berserk. Like they can't handle it, and it's the most uncomfortable conversation to have. It's like, wow, is it really this difficult? It's like I'm trying to just explain myself of what options there are, and it's like talking to a brick wall. So it couldn't come at a better time when I need them the most. And if there is a God, then it makes sense, because we all live our path, our own path, and our relationship with God, our relationship with ourselves and others have strengths and weaknesses, just like our flaws and our strengths. So our imagination is what we see. When we can imagine reality, like I can imagine that bottle down here perfectly fine. I can rearrange this whole room just looking at it without actually doing it. Maybe that's just the mind of a writer, but I think it takes talent to get from point A to point B. It's like freestyle. Some days I'm not good at it. Some days I am. Some days I got it. Other days I don't. Other days I should just be in bed. But life is a journey with your name written on top, and it says your journey. So when I see all of you out there, I see and recognize an individual journey, no matter what it is. It could be religion, that's cool, but not all of us think alike. So I know that your heart and your soul, your mind is in the right place. However, you got to look at it all as an individual journey. It's like, how does one CEO get to the airline company and win that top job? Do all of the CEOs have the same exact life? Do all lawyers go through the same exact process and have that same relationship with the judge that you think you do? And it's that think you do that's reality. That's when I started to not believing what's true or not. 2 + 2 = 4. That's true, because that's basic general knowledge that we all need to have to count coins. If you can't count correctly, then how can you finance correctly? I don't think the dollars mean something over there, but not here. Your value system needs to jive, not be too crazy. And that's how I view everyone. And it's just like, I've seen a few movies where you have this invisible tube that flows through the person's body, and you can almost see where they go in the movie, because you got this water, but it looks like, or even in Mario Kart, that's where you're supposed to be, or that's where you were last round, that's where you were last summer, and that's where you're supposed to be, because that's where you drove last time. So you basically learn this pattern, and you start to have a relationship with yesterday's pattern. And I realized that we need to have that drive. When you're in pain, I can tell you start to lose all of that drive, no matter how strong you are. I believe that pain is stronger. I believe pain is a stronger emotion. You can ruin relationships going on for 5 years, 5 minutes if you let it get. So for all of those years of love, it can take 5 minutes of hate to end what 5 years of love took to build. And using that same example with just to puts things into perspective on how
ladies and gentlemen.
That's the basic idea. I think we're just waiting to die. We can make it.
Ladies and gentlemen.
There was some, red flags.
Yeah, you're listening.
Was changed, so I can't deny it. I don't expect anyone
Credit
to
with Studios.
You have your own journey. So I write music, as disturbing as it may be, like I'm writing for the journey, writing for the person who's got their own struggle.
About that time to restart.
Ending. Like thinking outside the box, without me writing only within my box.
The main wheel, we should just turn this off and just turn on some instrumentals with some freestyle practice.
If you can't do that math, chances are your happiness.
Freestyle practice, homie.
And a lot of people battle in their emotions. I used to, I don't understand this opiate crisis just like I do addiction. To be honest, ever since my meth days of doing hardcore meth for 2 years straight, I haven't been able to crave for anything. I'm not sure why that is. Maybe the opiate took that sensation away. I do not crave, and I'm not sure if that is willpower.
That'll be about 3 hours. Time is it?
If it is good, then that would verify with how lucky I am and be thankful for the gifts that Jesus gave. It's another point.
Midnight,
that's true.
Man. We'll be done at midnight.
I've been on it for 9 years. I've been reading forums, and there's people out there who've been on it for 40 years plus. I don't know what the scare is.
How does that make you feel? Damn, yo. Multi-talented is now in the building.
So if there's anything to be learned from that experience,
we making all these brand new fancy instrumentals, 5 minutes apiece. Because I like to make songs when I freestyle, not just clips. Yeah, you know how we do it. About to get down, so refill. Get some popcorn.
Now you're hearing 5 minutes of 30-second pieces. So it scrolls through. So I only added what I've gone through of talk style. Trying to get over my freestyle phase. Trying to push it away.
Yeah, restart this stream just to stay legal.
Show you a secret. My whole career, probably have the worst voice to do the job I had to.
We'll drop out here in a few minutes. And, hopefully you come back. If not, what's up to the next video. Yeah, so it should be good tonight. Tonight should be interesting.
I wish I really wasn't on hard drugs for the rest of my life. Not that I really want to, because I'd rather not be in pain. So I don't have to be here. It takes a lot of training to think.
Yeah.
Especially when you mix in, weed.
Yeah. Damn, we did it, man. Oh, I'm all sweating up in here. We did how many today? 24. Damn, yo. How much am I gonna get paid? $70 an hour? How much am I gonna pay myself, man?
What was it? LGCD.
Gotta put that down on a timesheet. I was sitting here smoking weed, $70, 80,
I woke up still drunk.
200 a day,
You know, I tried to take a shit, and then every time I pushed, like my
probably 300 a day.
I'm really
Thank you for using. We're gonna play this stuff that you can actually buy. And I thought about mixing all of this together. When a freestyle comes on, then we'll go for it. We actually got too much stuff that we can't do it. By the time it was time for us to hit a rhyme, there'd be no spark. So you gotta warm up for the spark. We're gonna play these at random. Damn, I hear that noise. I don't think it's that noise. Yeah, we getting down. I'm setting all these levels. When my boy gets back. Yeah, man, I was thinking about smoking some weed with the homie who's choosing the freestyle. Hello? Yeah. Ready to play. I hear all that background noise. Warning inside in my head. Hopefully next song doesn't have it, or we got a problem. Pow, pow. See how comfortable I am now? In the mic. Damn, I gotta play a different song.
5-star track from Love Justin Perry.
Damn, yo. That was in a track. That's horrible, right? We be learning all mistakes, mistakes, outros and bloopers. Hanging back and low in the studio, passing this joint to my foes and friends. You know how we get it down, CWS Pod. Late night radio freestyle. We got 3 hours on the clock and I'm walking out. It's midnight. Damn. I think we'll be alright as long as I don't get distracted. So make sure you guys come back. Making acapellas. This is the first step of what you heard before. Chaos. Yeah. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. In our 3-hour, it's loud, freestyle session. Yeah. Ooh, damn, yo. Sounds real good tonight. Yeah, thanks for coming. Oh, pow, pow. CWSPOD. We arresting the situation. Coming crowns. Knowledge turn to crowds. Average shots turn out of pre-pounds. Crisscross your heart. I'll never stop loving your soul. God's giving gifts. Great goals. Birds fly. Seagulls. At the wedding day, saying good luck. Sevens across the board. Woman of love. Yeah, smoke it. Have fun. Listen closely. The God's grace. Making these video for our kids to watch. How Papa was a clown. That's how we put food in your mouth.
5-star track from Love Justin Perry.
Damn, yo. So it was just a test.
01 Coach had a moment.
So every song we're gonna take a hit. And like the dude out of Soul